Jack, you wanna go out there, boy? You wanna go out there, boy? Okay, let's go out there. Come on. Daddy will take you. Come on. First snow of the season. What you doing, boy? What's going on? Who's this good-looking boy? Who's the good-looking boy? Come on in, boy. Good boy. Alright guys, so let's clean this tank. I want to dedicate this to Psychedelic Babe because she does an outstanding job at researching and, you know, bringing to your attention new channels of YouTubers trying to get more subscribers. She does a great job. Check out her channel. First, I'm just going to start out with this turkey baster. And what I'm going to do is follow Tang. He always kind of prowls around the turkey baster or the vacuum when I sift the sand bed because he doesn't like things in his tank. Here he comes. He doesn't nip at anything. He's like, hey, what's that in my tank, you know? But when he sees bubbles, he goes crazy. He likes swimming through them. So what I'm going to do is just fill this with water, and I'm going to blow off the rock. I've already done some of it, but it's going to blow off all these stars so the harlequin shrimp can eat them. It's going to blow off all the dust and dirt, which is actually uneaten food, and fish crap. There's a lot of it down there. This is something you should do once a week, especially if you have a lot of messy fish like tangs. Watch the sand bed. This is good to do on... No, it's not food. Look out, man. This is good to do on your sand bed because it blows the sand up and it releases all the uneaten food and detritus, which is fish shit, and it gets through the water column and it'll get picked up by your filter and skimmed out through your skimmer. Look at the nasty crap. See, he's finding some of the food that I'm launching out of the sand bed. So there's my bucket of Instant Ocean that I just keep refilling with the boxes that are delivered through Amazon. Very inexpensive, 200-gallon water change in bags. You know, for like what, $45 free shipping. Can't beat that. So I make my own RODI water. There's 10 gallons of fresh RODI water. I did put 12 scoops of salt in there to make sure that I can maintain the 1.026 salt water. 1.21 gigawatts. So what I'm going to do is unscrew this. This is the water coming in. Get rid of that. Move this stuff out of the way. Biopellet reactor that I will be selling. Towels, a necessity. And I'm going to bring this out. Roll it on out. Now when you do a water change, you have to remember to just take your time and be really careful. Like in carpentry, they say measure twice, cut once, or measure 3 times, cut once. Same thing here. Because when you siphon water out of your aquarium to replace it with the new salt water, things can get out of control really quick. Once a siphon starts, and I've done it accidentally, I've left the hose in the tank thinking the siphon broke. I walk away to bring this to the tank. The water started to siphon again onto my floor because the hose that I put in the sump or in the tank just fell out and it started siphoning onto my floor because gravity pulls the water out of the tank, rushing down the hose onto your nice floor. So keep in mind that things will get out of control really quick. So a water change that'll take, you know, 15 minutes winds up taking an hour to 90 minutes because you've got a whole mess to clean up. Hey boy, who are you? Oh, we got Jack here. I got my boy. You got my good boy? Are you daddy's boy? Hey, are you daddy's boy? Yes, you are a daddy's boy. Good boy. So, let's get started. I keep an extension cord in the closet, and I'll start by plugging that into the wall. This is going to run the pump that's in the Rubbermaid container that's going to pump the water in. Alright? So I've got a handful of 5-gallon jugs for water changes. This is what I'm going to be siphoning the sandbed water from. We're going to siphon today. Sometimes I'll do a water change siphoning out the sump. Today we're going to do it from the sandbed. And I labeled this one good 125, which means good water that is not parasite ridden. It's healthy, and it's for the 125-gallon aquarium. The ones downstairs that say bad 125 would be used if I had a parasite outbreak, and I only want to use that jug in the 125-gallon if I'm doing water changes once all fish are removed and I'm treating the tank for ick or marine velvet. You don't want to mix the jugs together. I have a couple when I had the JBJ 45, same thing, JBJ, I call it 45 good, 45 bad. Or quarantine, so you only use it for your quarantine tank. I mean, if you're going to mix the jugs, I would highly recommend, if you don't want to label them like this, I would just fill them with pure water. It doesn't have to be RODI water, it could be right out of your tap. Make sure there's no salt in it. Leave them filled up for a week. That will more than kill any parasites because they can't live in fresh water. There's a tip. Alright, so we got the 5-gallon jug. We're going to put one end of the hose in it. The other end we're going to just siphon out. Fill your siphon with water, let gravity take it down, then you put it in, then you lift it up, and it just continues to flow. A lot of people, either they have a fetish where they want to suck up fish shit, or they just don't know how to do it. Let it fill up, raise it up. When it's halfway down, you put it in again, you tip it upside down, and the siphon starts. See? I am removing 10 gallons of water and vacuuming at the same time. And then I will replace the 10 gallons of salt water. You remove 10 gallons, you replace 10 gallons. You remove 5 gallons salt water, you replace 5 gallons salt water. The only time you replace with fresh water that's been filtered through an RODI unit is when you're topping it off due to water evaporation. You never replace water that is evaporated with salt water. Science 101, salts don't evaporate through the water. Salt always stays in your tank unless you physically remove it. This 5-gallon won't be enough to do a lot of the sandbed. And that's fine. If you really want to concentrate on the nastiness, you'll vacuum your sandbed in the corners, because for some reason the corners, they collect a lot more crap than the middle of the tank. You can see outside, it looks like more of the color, the yellowish tan, all the nastiness that was in that sandbed. It's not clear by any means. I'm just gonna take a quick walk down the sidewalk and dump it into the street. Then we'll do the next 5-gallon, then I'll replace with 10 gallons of fresh salt water. 10 gallons are gone. We're gonna now replace it with the fresh salt water that we just created from the Rubbermaid container. Make sure this hose doesn't fall out. These hoses are kind of hard to work with because they are stiffer. I always like to keep the hose out of the water So it creates a lot of bubbles, oxygenating the water. Just a little extra something. And you can also take the hose and go over various rocks to blow off any excess waste or uneaten fish food or detritus. See how the fowlery tang, he just swims in those bubbles? This, connect it to the outside of the Rubbermaid container, which is connected to the float valve. When the water level gets this high, predetermined 10 gallons, it'll stop. So you can make water at night, go to bed, and it'll stop and it won't overflow. RODI unit is back there. It's filtering the water. So it's getting all the metals and chlorine and everything out of the water. So it's pure, fresh water. I'll do another video on an RODI unit. But for now, just know that my water's really good, but I still won't use tap water for my aquarium. Fish and corals need the absolute purest water you can get. So the water's coming out, going through the RODI unit. It's getting filtered through 3 chambers, removing the metals and all that stuff that I said. The pure water's going into here, and the wastewater being rejected out down the sink. Now, some people save this water into buckets and they use it for their garden and other stuff like that. Now, surprisingly enough, when you make your own water, the water bill hasn't gone up at all. And I go through like 15 gallons a week, 20 gallons a week, because what I'm doing now is filling this with pure water. It will be filled with 10 gallons of pure water, which I will use through the week, maybe twice, to dunk a 1 gallon jug in, filled with fresh water, to use to top off as the water evaporates through the week. And I really only do this twice. I really only go through like 2 gallons a week. Then, when I remove those 2 gallons, I replace the 2 gallons, giving me a fresh 10 gallons. And I always have fresh water ready for top offs. And about Thursday night, I'll put the salt in there, and then I'll put the power head on. And then it'll mix the salt up, and within 24 hours, I'm ready to do another water change on Saturday or Sunday. So that's the deal. I hope this helped you guys out. I know it seems maybe intimidating. Some of you guys are like, I don't want to make my own water. It's a lot of money, and it looks like a lot of work. I also don't want a big Rubbermaid container in my laundry room. Well, I thought the same thing. But I'll tell you what, totally worth it. I really mean it. And I've heard a lot of people say it's totally worth it, but still it took me about 6 months to decide if I wanted this monstrosity in my room, my house. It's not that bad. It makes water changes a lot easier because it rolls on the wheels. Just roll it out to your tank. I know it doesn't help you if you're on the 2nd floor, but if I ever got a larger aquarium and I put it in the basement, I would just have a plumber come in and plumb out and have another laundry sink added in the basement, because I'm not going to be lugging 5-gallon jugs up and down the stairs. Make it as easy on you as you can. Alright, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next Saturday with another video. Subscribe if you haven't already. New videos every Saturday. Take care, and check out Psychedelic Babe's channel. She's totally cool.